Plain Jane on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real. I'm not supposed to making lists, for real. I stay low and stack my chips, for real. You keep looking for a flip, for real. That's not wealth, that's rich, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. No liens on the whip, for real. I get bored, I take a trip, for real. Take a loss, I never trip, for real. Been in shock, I'm not a lick, for real. Don't trust the soul, it's on my hip, for real. Make a move and you get hit, for real. No pictures by the crib, for real. Can't let them know just where I live, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. Plain Jane on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real.
The market crashed on me, but that's not my last, homie. It ain't over for me. It ain't over for me. The market crashed on me, but that's not my last, homie. Only one logical thing to do. Don't trip by the dip, 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 by the dip. Don't trip by the dip, 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 by the dip. Don't trip by the dip. Get my chips and dip. Hot on coins and watch me flip. In and out, I'm stacking pips. Market looking bearish. By the dip, 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 by the dip. Don't trip. Sour cream and onion dip. Scoop it with some ruffle chips. Sink them like Titanic ship. Bartender, here's a tip. Crypto face is the truth. He can even show you proof. This is market cipher school. Rory made you say, ooh, wish I had one too. Making plays on Tradingview. Waiting on a blue triangle. I just call it Blues Clue. Portfolio diversified. Keep my balance classified. Scared to look, you terrified. But when you did, you almost died. All good before you went to sleep. Woke up to a surprise. Couldn't believe your eyes. Where the hell did your money go? You like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? Bitcoin dumping in my sleep. Woke up to a market sweep. That's the reason I don't sleep. Keep my eyes on the prize. Bought some Hex and Cardano. Fear of missing out. FOMO, that's a no-no. Yeah, I know, bro, but I still do the shit. I'm just trying to hit a lick, so I think I just might buy the dip, 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 buy the dip. Don't trip, buy the dip, 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 buy the dip. Don't trip, buy the dip. Get my chips and dip. Hot on coins and watch me flip. In and out, I'm stacking pips. Market looking bearish. Buy the dip, 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 buy the dip. Don't trip. The market crashed on me, but it's not my ass, homie. Time to rise up out the flames like a motherfucking phoenix. Flying high in the sky, and I motherfucking mean it. Put it all on the house, I can't help it cause I'm greedy. Got a family, gotta feed it. All my followers, man, they need me. We can all get rich together, talk about financial freedom. BTC, ETH, XRP, that's a threesome. Three-way. Blockchain tokens got your boy really eating. Cryptocurrency is a gift from God. All praises to the Most High. Help me beat the odds, playing smart so I don't get wrecked like you pencil next. Wear a crew, call me Spider-Man.
Good morning all. Yes sir, yes sir. Happy Monday. Let me see how most systems go. I think it looks like it's working. And yeah, let's get it. Market crash here. let's have a look what's happening on the charts and take it from there. So let's see if there's any news on top of all of the news we've had. We don't really want anything more, but second week of the month, sometimes there is. Monday 7th, clean. Bank of Japan speaking Wednesday, otherwise clean Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, CPI USD. I don't think I don't think it will be, they're expecting it, wow, they're expecting a big drop, 2.8 to 2.6. Damn. I don't think tariffs, you know, they're going to be implemented long enough, of course, to see basically to see any impact on inflation from tariffs here. So if you guys have been living under a rock, if you don't know, market has crashed. Now, the reason why is because of Trump's tariffs. He's putting very heavy tariffs on multiple economies, and it's creating a lot of pressure in the markets because it's looking to slip countries, especially US, into recession, well, mostly US. And it's also obviously a trade war, right? Obviously, countries rely on their imports, rely on their exports, etc. It's basic economics, right? It's basic economics, import, export, big part of business conducted, and especially with such a large consumer base that there is in the US, okay? US houses a very large consumer base, one that you can't really exchange or replicate. So it's putting a lot of pressure. It's putting a lot of pressure, and we're seeing obviously the effects come into the market here. So the last time we saw a dump like this in traditional markets, let's go see S&P here, for example. S&P here opening up on a 2000 point gap here, well, 200 point gap, 2000 pip gap. Last time we saw a dump like this was back here in, basically I would say this aggressive is last time was in 2020. 2020, we all know what happened in 2020. It's the last time we saw this dump. Now the question is, will we see a same type of bear market we had from 2022 to 2023, basically a year-long bear market, or are we gonna see the same thing? I would like to also show, maybe I shouldn't give these tips like this, but if you look at 2018 here, this was, do you guys know what this is in 2018? Let's see if anyone can type. You have 10 seconds. Type. What is this in 2018? Let's see how good you guys are at understanding. Okay. Trump, but what in Trump? Not elections, no. Orange juice, no. Yes, tariffs. This was tariff war again. This was another tariff war. So very interesting. You guys can see what happened afterwards. We did revisit lower prices after that, which is extremely interesting, but this was unprecedented for. This was unprecedented for, obviously, Black Swan event, but what's very interesting is that it was actually one big, it was one big bear trap, and before we made huge lower lows, but this was more tariffs. Do I think that we could make another lower low after this? It's pretty heavy dump. I would be more scared if we would. This is typically considered a bear market with this type of dump. Anything 20% is considered bear market. We have shaved off already 21%. So full bear market. And yeah, let's have a look at the analysis here for today. Definitely going to be interesting in the market here. And let's see what's going on. So we start off on daily time frame here. Weekly, obviously closing bearish here for GJ. No top wick on current weekly. We opened on a gap down on most indices, or a big push down here. That was kind of precedented with the futures contracts as well, kind of indicating to see some more downside. Looking at 4-hour time frame here, let's just mark this weekly support here, see if it's going to be relevant. Weekly support. Looking at 4-hour time, daily time frame next, we can see it's same as daily support right there. We're still respecting daily support. Previous daily close bearish, previous 4-hour closing doji bearish. At this support, so probably the hardest place to sell in the whole market right now, because we've done a huge liquidity grab to this low, close back in the range. If this 4-hour close outside the range, would be a lot simple. You know, would be a lot simpler if we could just be below this range here. Let's go see on the 1 hour what we're saying. We have a 1 hour support sitting right here. 4-hour support is acting as 4-hour resistance. That weekly support rejection zone, we are creating another support here. Like that. So, if we're looking at price, you know, sells do make sense maybe back to the weekly support, but again, risky. We've already reached target, but it's big ranges we're dealing with. 29 pips to there. 15 is a little bit lower, actually. So it could make sense from here down to the weekly support. Counter trend buys, it's tough, you know. It's tough counter trend buys. We need more information. I'm going to give a discussion about these type of markets, what to do, and where a lot of people will fail. Not a lot of people will show up live and show you this on a basis in these type of market conditions, because many people don't know how to trade these market conditions. So moving on to gold here. Gold, we've obviously had a heavy Friday session. You know, there was some selling opportunities during Friday, no buys. Right now, we opened up on how much of a pip this was. This was 600, almost 700 pip drop on the open. Immediately retraced here in a couple of 15-minute candles. Guys, ranges are much bigger. Our candles are much bigger. If you do not know how to manage risk, if you do not know how to calculate candles, do not trade today. I'm telling you from now. If you don't know what you're doing, just do not trade in these market conditions. Observe, learn, and the next time you can do it, because one 15-minute candle here is 100 pips. Okay, 15-minute candle, 100 pips. 1 minute candles are 24 pips. 1 minute candles, 1 minute candles, 24 pips. So if you don't know how to calculate risk, just take a step back and just don't do anything. Just don't do anything and relax. Okay, because you're just gonna get cooked here. Okay, when 1 minute candles are 20 pips, this is, and you know, especially if you don't have leverage and you're on a small account, it's just going to eat up your whole small account, because you know, 15-minute candles here being 100 pips, some of these 15-minute candle, that 15-minute candle there is 400 pips, guys. That 15-minute right in front, that looks like a regular 15-minute candle is 400 pips. Okay, so it's a lot of movement here, and if you're not measuring and checking that out, you're going to get cooked. Okay, so 400 pip 15-minute candle, that is, right? So keep that in mind. So make sure you're calculating risk is the moral of the story here. Weekly time frame, closing bearish here. First weekly close in about 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. We have weekly candle close. We're already trying to bounce that back up. Daily time frame, bearish. Let's mark the daily support. There we go, daily support there. We're respecting daily support for now. 4-hour time frame closed below on the open. It created a 4-hour resistance right here. We are mixed session bias, believe it or not. 4S. So buys can be a potential in this session. They can be a potential. 1-hour time frame, we're sitting at 1-hour resistance right now, right here. 30-minute time frame, we have a resistance a little bit higher. This is your 30. And we have cascading resistances, not the best cascading. I hate cascading, makes it tough. We have a 15 here. So there is tradable ranges, but we need to see based on stop loss. We could look above the 30 if we create structure right here, buys above the 30. That is a 90 pip range. It's a big range, but just because it's a big range doesn't mean we will still get a 20 pip stop loss. This 15-minute candle here was 110 pips. You see what I'm saying? So we're moving very fast. You guys also need to watch spread. If you check DAX spread, actually, DAX spread is ridiculous right now. It is very high at the moment. You know, gold is obviously jumping about here. GJ is almost at 2 pip spread on GJ for me. Gold is jumping a little bit, trying to settle. It doesn't look too bad actually. Gold, I'd say gold is better. GJ is closer to 2 pips. For me, gold is pretty stable. DAX is jumping very heavily. DAX is about 200 point spread at, not 200 point, 2 point spread at the moment. Yeah, 2104. Not worried about previous daily resistance on gold. This one, no, we crossed through twice, right? So it gets invalidated when you cross through twice. If it was just here, yes, but now it crossed through twice. 4-point spread on DAX. That's insane. 4-point is pretty insane. So, yeah, you know. Harry, my prop firm is asking for my IBAN number. Is it safe? Yeah, they can't steal from your IBAN number. They can only deposit money through your IBAN number. So yeah, let's see what happens. I think for shorts on gold here, I'm not seeing as many clean ranges as for longs. So I think for shorts, I need to see some more information, maybe structure and then closing back inside this range. It would make sense on a 30. The 1 hour would close bearish, and for buys, structure and buys above is kind of the plan. So I think that's what we can look for on gold. Now going on to DAX here. So DAX obviously had this big open here. There's a gap up here. DAX opened here the day on a push down worth of 900 points. Wow, that's crazy. That's actually insane. 900 point push on DAX back into 19,000s. This is obviously because of the threat to European companies here as they do business globally, right? If we're looking at daily time frame, we start weekly. Weekly is obviously heavily bearish here. No top wick on current weekly. We are not respecting any support, same as NASDAQ, same as everything else, just doesn't give a shit. I'm very surprised we didn't have a small bounce at the 18100s. This is definitely one of these markets where it's telling you how much bearish pressure there is. When we cannot respect macro lows, when macro lows cannot be respected for even a bounce or even just, you know, a retest of it, it's showing you that this is pure capitulation, right? Pure I can't even speak. Capitulation, meaning that people are just selling and they don't give a shit here. So we are seeing no buying pressure whatsoever. We're sitting on top of this previous weekly. Daily time frame, also it's a previous daily. We just retested this previous daily support. That's what we're reacting off right now. Four-hour time frame close bearish, daily close bearish. 1 hour time frame about to retest the lows here. You guys really need to be calculating risk today because DAX has slippage as well sometimes. So with slippage, with high spread, it's a recipe for disaster. Okay. So you really need to be on the smarter side here. Okay. So majority of sells have actually played out early. These all up here, nice sell setups. So most of the sells have played out. There could be some selling options down below here or structure to find, you know, find structure and then look for continuation of sells. There is a gap up here on my broker, still remaining there. So we need to be careful. Majority of sells, probably more sells going to be below there. Below this type of spot here, but I need to see the open. I rather see the open in 10 minutes and just see Frankfurt open and how Frankfurt reacts to it. Do we pop up? What the spread settle down? It's only 10 minutes anyways. You're not going to be doing anything in between that. So I'm going to get more information from basically waiting for candles to get below. So if we're looking, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it for today in terms of the analysis front here. Very interesting markets here. Now, I just want to say, in these type of market conditions, not a lot of people are going to speak to you about these market conditions, okay? Not a lot of people are going to speak to you. So I want you guys to listen up here. My strategy, price action, is going to be the best case here, or one of the best case, because I follow how candles move, okay? Part of being a trader is the ability to know when not to trade. Just because there's big moves in the market doesn't mean you're missing out on money, okay? You are not missing out on money. This is not life-changing moves without following a plan. What's life-changing is something that can pay you dividends over a long period of time, not a get-rich-quick. People who win the lottery end up losing it most of the time. That is a proven fact, okay? So thinking that this was your only chance in the market to grab the top or grab the bottom and make life changing money from one trade is a bad mindset. Okay, it's a bad mindset. Life-changing money will come from consistency over time. And in order to adhere to that consistency, you need to have a plan that is tried, tested, and proven that can trade through multiple market conditions. Even meaning if you have to take a back seat on some of these moves to set yourself up for better opportunity in the future. These pullbacks are healthy. We needed a pullback, right? So the beginning of the year has been amazing. We've had insane price action. We've had amazing opportunity. That has all come from following a plan and following a consistent method, right? People have been complaining. I see on social media, oh, Trump markets are hard. Trump markets don't know, blah, blah, blah. No, they're just trying to find something to blame. The only person to blame is you. If you can't trade these market conditions, then you have to adapt to it. So what I'm saying now is that we've had something that is unprecedented, which is heavy movement due to tariffs. That doesn't mean you'll be able to catch everything. Don't try to force. This is not going to pass your challenge. This is not going to, you're most likely going to lose in these moves. Unless you pick a direction and you get lucky, it goes in your direction and you win big, fine. But what about the rest of the year? What about next year? This is where, you know, maybe you get lucky, you make $5,000. You make $10,000. That feels great. But in 2 years, 3 years, is $5,000 good? No, not really. Because if you can make $1,000 a month for 2 years, now we're talking. Much more achievable, much more sustainable, and you make more money. Okay? So this is obviously the initial reaction. The big next threat we have in the market is obviously going to be, how do the countries retaliate against this? Okay, how do they retaliate against the tariffs? What do they say? Do they fight back like China has? China has fought back already, introducing 30% tariffs on US. Do we see Europe follow the same? What is going to be the plan? All of this is going to create this type of uncertainty, this type of volatility, and you'll see money flow move throughout the market. Okay, now, although this happens, this also although this happens, this can also create opportunity with the right setups because we have volume. So being a price action trader is probably your best shot right now because you're not worried about liquidity sweeps. You're not worried about certain zone. No, you're kind of just following where price is, right? We make a plan. You make a plan where price is. So there could be massive opportunity. Runners, great idea. If you're following higher time frame trend, runners can really pay off in these situations. But the number one thing here to protect your ass, guys, is you have to keep your risk management the same. If you change your risk management right now and you start risking more, you're going to cook yourself, especially with market conditions that are not really tested, right? This doesn't happen much. You can't really say things are going to move the same way they have moved. So you could have a little bit higher failure rate, but if you win, your win should make it up because it should be at least a decent win. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that. I want you guys to realize that this is not a time to be, if you're serious about trading, if you're here just to have a gamble, be my guest. But if you're serious about trading and want to treat it professionally and actually generate income sustainably, then you need to be following through with what I said. Okay, you need to make sure you're on point, and that's it. You know, it's just it's exciting because these type of pullbacks create amazing opportunity for the months ahead. You could even, worst case scenario, like there's so many things that can happen. We could get stuck in range for months as the market is completely uncertain, and that's it. Big boom and bust, and that's it. You know, that's how it is. Or we can start to actually be extremely volatile, retracing, dumping, or retrace the whole move completely. So I would say the worst case out of this is that we get stuck in terrible range, which really hasn't happened, you know. So we will see how price action develops over the next couple of weeks will be the way, okay? And that's it. And that's it. So we will see. I don't understand why gold is not strong bullish. Economies are being rocked by tariffs. Yes, gold is down from previous highs because of gold. Think about it this way. If you're an investor with money, you're going to dump money into an asset that's at all-time highs. It will basically, you will be used as exit liquidity from the investors who've been investing in good prices in gold. As soon as they see these big orders coming into gold, they're going to be like, I'm dumping it. This has nothing to do with like a uncertainty in terms of what's going to happen, maybe like through to war, due to stuff like that. It's not anything based on that. It's based on the US here, right? And of course, US hold a hell of a lot of gold. So no one wants to really invest in that. USD also got super strong. That's a reason why. Yeah, mostly, I mean, we saw money flow into the yen here. That's typically where money goes into on safe haven. CHF should have seen a little bit of money come into this. You can see how much money has come actually into the Swiss franc. And yeah, Swiss franc has had a lot of money pushed into it. Both safe haven currencies. So people are moving money into these type of assets here and into cash probably as well. I would assume as well. So you can see money, a bit of money moved into the euro here as well. You know, and a little bit, not too much though. You know, mostly Swiss franc has seen a lot of money move into it. Buffett saw this coming months ago. It was a matter of time. It was pretty easy. I've been calling it from the beginning of the year. I expected a big pullback to come at some point. It's very hard to time. I said in the next year or two, from this year or next year, we would get this pullback. I didn't expect it this fast though. I really couldn't say it was this fast. I was expecting a pullback, but not a capitulation like this. So definitely interesting to see how it capitulated. This is why I kept taking profits on Bitcoin at 100k. I know it seemed crazy at the time, guys, but really this is the reason why. You know, like for me it made total sense, right? I mean, from here, guys, from this spot here live in front of you, I told you guys I'm cashing out Bitcoin, I'm cashing out Bitcoin, I'm cashing out Bitcoin. You know? So I know it seems crazy, but there's a method behind the madness, you know? And I remember here when I was cashing out, how many people DM'd me saying, bro, at least we have 150. This is just the beginning. People buying here. Like, I know that this is how markets work. And even if it went to 150, I'm already accepted and I'm happy with my trade, you know? I'm happy with my take profit zone. You know, it makes sense for me. You know what I mean? Now we're back at 70s. Now anything in this type of zone, anything lower from here, it starts to become interesting to me. You know, it's like, that's it. That's it. It's not rocket science when you think of things straightforward. When you have FOMO, I think it's a fact that people cannot accept that they're not part of a move. I think that is the I think that is the one. We just started quantitative easing. Risk assets will be interesting in the next month. Yes, but the problem is inflation, man. Inflation is already high. If they start quantitative easing again, it's going to be a massive problem. Hi, as you mentioned, similar market conditions. Not the similar market conditions. Completely different. But we did have the same pullback. Like we had the trade wars, but it was not like this. This one has happened like kind of like a rug pull, to be honest. Kind of like a rug pull. You have 2018. I think we have 2019. Do I have to check? It's 5 years because we update to 2025. We could actually put that so people can practice. Forecast is also 2.6, so it will be interesting to see. It will probably come out, but the problem is that how quickly will it go back up? You know? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the analysis and breakdown. Make sure to leave a like on the stream. You guys know the drill. Thank you everyone for showing up. It's going to be interesting to trade this. This is always testing my strategy in different conditions. Many traders out there are not going to show you this because they don't know the outcome. For me, it's very simple. I can follow price because I'm trading a price action method, meaning that I just follow what price is doing on the charts. So yeah, let's just see what happens. But this is a time to preserve, right? You have to preserve. Don't do anything stupid. You can mess up your year like this, especially as a beginner trader, guys. Especially as someone who doesn't know how to recover themselves if they slip into drawdown. It's going to be very tough, because if you've had January positive, February positive, March positive, 3 months positive, this is build good confidence and you have good bankroll here. And then if you come into April with these market conditions trying to catch the big move down and just keep losing because you're not used to these pullbacks, let me remind you, this pullback here from this low to here is 250 pips, okay? If you're not used to these pullbacks and you start losing in these conditions, you're not only going to lose money, you're also going to lose confidence, and you won't be able to be profitable for the rest of the year because you won't be able to gain that confidence back. You'll end up being scared of taking the good positions and FOMO into the bad positions. Yes, China indices are even. Have you seen even the Nikkei? The Nikkei has even had a big crash, 5% this morning. Nikkei is even moving very heavily down. Look at this daily on Nikkei. Oops. Nikkei. Oh, that didn't. Look at that, man. Crazy. 20% easy. Down 11%, yeah. Here's DAX on the open. These candles are also big on DAX, huh? 150 point candle. Pretty big. Someone was asking, how do I measure pips? I just use this measure tool on the left here. It just looks like a ruler. Why couldn't the world just trade fairly with the USA? No, it's not the world's fault. It's USA putting heavy tariffs. The USA needs to come to a deal. Not USA, but Trump needs to come to a deal. Like tariffs, let's say European tariffs on US are around 10%. So if they could come to a deal and just call it quits and say, okay, 10% each, it will be simpler. But I mean, take for example, Vietnam. You know how much percent tariff he's putting in Vietnam? 46%. 46%. You know, you go check the labels of your clothes. Heavy amount. Shoes, clothes, Vietnam. Nike, made in Vietnam. Nikkei is a Japanese stock market index, not a Chinese. That's exactly what I said, bro. I said also look at the Nikkei, right? And also have a look at the Hang Seng as well. You know where Hang Seng is from? Should see that one as well. Hang Seng is also heavily down. What would you do in this scenario? Confirmation candle with no wick. The candle closed, so it doesn't matter. But this looks to me, this is daily open. You won't be trading at daily open DAX. Very risky to... No, it's not daily. A little bit after daily open. Doesn't matter. As long as it's not like a 4-hour candle, yeah, it doesn't matter. These candles don't matter. This is options. This is options. As long as it was, yeah, it wasn't daily open. This is an option for sells. Because the candle's closed, so it doesn't matter, no wick. Only if the candle's open, it matters, right? So this was a good sell, actually. Beautiful sell. Even here as well, again, this one was better. But once the candle closed, you're not worried about a wick. Especially that it has structure here. You have structure. But who bears the cost of the tariffs? Typically the companies. But the problem is that the companies can start to put it on consumers, right? Think about it this way. If like, if you're a brand like Nike, okay, and you know, you dominate the market here, you're gonna put some of that cost on consumers, and consumers are still gonna buy. And then if they try to retaliate around you, against you, right? If they retaliate against you, you say it's not us who put up the prices. We don't want to charge you more. It's the tariffs that have made us, you know. So then they just blame the tariffs and then they charge more. But the only one who suffers is the consumers, right? The consumers. And who's the consumers? Regular people, right? Alright, how would you manage SL when gold is making 60 pip candles? I mean, you just have to measure. It's the same as if it was 6 pip. You're adjusting lot size. That's all I'm telling you guys. You have to measure. Doesn't matter how big the candles are, right? It's just relative. It's relative to the range. Because yes, you might have this candle right here now is a 80 pip candle. But if your range has to be then 80 pips at least, right? It's all relative. Like that's already 60 pips. I mean, 2 weeks ago, guys, this range here would be 15 pips, 15, 20 pips. Easily 15, 20 pips only. You know, right now we're working with 60 pip ranges. I mean, this range down here, you know, is 200 pip range, you know. You can't be the most powerful for eternity, and if you don't treat others with respect, one day you're gonna lose it all. Very deep. My deposit might not be enough to trade in this market. No, you just probably have, depends on your lot size. You'll have to use the smallest lot size. Is setup 4 on gold on 30-minute time frame now valid? You don't have range. You're selling into supports. We don't know where it's gonna reject. You have to be very careful. Just like now we rejected here. And you have to imagine, like, you know, these rejections are not fun. They're not fun. You know, this stop loss here, 130 pip stop loss, you have the target. It's not even a one-to-one. Like, I'd really push to try get, like, in these type of market conditions, you want to be like in a safe position as quick as possible. Meaning, you want to be in profit as quick as possible. If you're in profit as quick as possible, then at least you can manage. If you're holding drawdown in these market conditions, very sketchy, man. Very sketchy. Already before this, yeah, then you can't trade it, bro. That's it. Have to demo account it. Otherwise, you just over risk, you know. One loss will wipe out a couple of wins, you know. You don't want to one loss, and that's what I mean. So you just have to like practice demo or something like that. Or if you get a position with okay stop loss, you know, then that's it. That's what I had that speech, right? That speech that I had earlier on saying that people need to calculate because you can easily ruin your year. Doesn't mean it's a bad trade, it's just you risked wrong. Stocks are down heavily. If the price increases in consumer too much, it would step into and yes, it would. It would. There's a lot of things that can happen. That's why there's so much uncertainty in the market right now, because we don't know which direction it's going to go. And the main uncertainty right now is how is the countries going to retaliate. We saw China retaliate, but are other companies going to, not companies, countries going to do the same? Europe is kind of just taking a backhand saying like, give us time, can we negotiate, can we negotiate, can we negotiate? To be honest, it's all a load of manipulation at the end of the day. All of this is planned. None of this is random. None of this. While the world panics, there's a group of people who are in control. It's all a system designed to benefit someone. Nothing in life, no bad things will happen in life for not someone else to benefit out of it. Nothing. No crazy event, nothing. Someone always benefits. There's always an opposite side. Yeah, of course, Harriel, of course. It's just unfortunately how the world works. But we can be smart with this. The long-term opportunity in the stock market, very juicy, these pullbacks. We don't really get this much, and I'm saying that. You don't get this often. So it's definitely an opportunity to take advantage of. I shall be doing. How big is these candles? 200 points. It's pretty nuts. How's spread doing? 80? 80 is not bad. 80 is not bad. Yeah, spread is okay now. Will you be trading a different pair or two in the near future? Not unless I have to, right? Kind of would be the same situation with GBP JPY, right? Kind of allocated more time to DAX because there's more opportunity. But I don't plan to change for no reason. Also, who knows in the future, right? Maybe something happens with regulations, we can't trade what we normally trade, so we just adapt. That's why I'm so big on price action, because who knows what maybe your strategy only works on a certain pairs, and then the minute that happens and something changes, boom, all of your hard work gone. So for me, I really don't want that to happen, so that's why I just focused on and stuck with something that is going to ensure me that I can trade basically anything. Let's see what happened to orange juice in this dump. Damn. Orange juice following the stock market. What a short, huh? You know what's crazy, guys? Orange juice called the top. I wonder if orange juice can call the bottom. 19th of December, we started to see orange juice dump. If we look at traditional markets, the S&P started to dump in, what date is this? February, literally 2 months after. 2 months after the S&P started to dump. Whoa. Imagine we're onto something. Orange juice is gonna make us rich. Because if orange juice forms a bottom, it could be the lows before the real stock market forms the lows. Orange juice told you the signs, guys. Orange juice said, time to dump. How to backtest on Pip Labs? Can I backtest there, bro? Yes, of course you can. You just go to Pip Labs website. You can try it for free. I recommend you guys hop on it. Give it a go. Best price backtesting software on the market and the only one on browser with tick data. No one has tick data. And if you're not backtesting, at least invest in yourself, right? At least invest in yourself. You're not going to invest in education, invest in yourself, prove to yourself you know what you're doing. Orange juice, the secret sauce they use in Wall Street. How are you going to be found dead? Suicide 3 shots back. Thanks, man. That was a bit harsh. Go straight for that. I use FX Replay. I'm good. Have you tried Pip Labs, bro? Because FX Replay doesn't have tick data. You should try it with tick data. Tick data is going to be much better for backtesting. So just give it a shot. There's a free version here. You can try the free version. We also have a prop firm simulator. Prop firm simulator is something that others do not offer. And I want to show you the tick data, right? Look how the candles move here. They move like in real time, you see? So this is something that no one has on browser. So you should try it out. It's also cheaper, more cost effective, and yeah, I just generally, this is the unique selling point we have. How much does Pip Labs cost? $25. Also, since I own the software, anything you guys want, I'm very community based, so it's a little bit different. We run very community based. You can access me, right? You can speak to me. You can say, hey man, I would really like this to be implemented. And if others say, yes, that's a great idea, boom, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, right? Backtesting in Pip Labs is free. Free version is free, but obviously to get all the pairs, all saving your data costs, because it costs us. Costs us to make the software, costs us to save your information. Harry, how much is the exclusive? Same price it's always been. $1, $1.8 a day. You can see information here. $50 a month, most cost effective. Price has not changed. Been like that for a while. See how DAX is doing. DAX is melting here. Melting. Wonder if DAX will give us some sort of entry soon. this 1 hour support here. Would like to see this 1 hour support tapped. Maybe below the 1 hour support we can grab some sells here. Why are you charging for so cheap? Which for so cheap? Pip labs or exclusive? We need tight SL for those cells. Yeah, we need a good SL. For exclusive, because I don't want to charge exorbitant amounts. I actually want to try impact multiple people, and I limit the amount of people that come in. I plan in the future to increase the price, of course, because sometimes people take the value for granted. You're not going to get that amount of value. I mean, most communities you pay for, you cannot even speak to the owner. You can't even speak to the owner. Whereas there, I'm very community orientated. But I wanted to make something affordable because, I don't know. It's just like I'm not... A lot of people, they need to generate a lot of income from their courses or whatever. But for me, I felt that it's not really needed in my sense. I'm more interested in making impact and stuff like that, growing a brand. Obviously, I want to be paid for my time, and I think that's fair. But, it's just the way I did it. I chose that price. It will increase because I do feel, but that's only when we reach a limit. But when it increases, the people who are in, of course, will not be charged more, because that's, for me, not the right thing to do. Not how I run business. Is traditional stocks also dumping here? Yep. So DAX is following. Will we get full capitulation today? Wonder if we'll make new lows or what. 1 minute for the 5-minute candle to close. 6 minutes for the 15. We're going to mark this 15 here as well. We do need this. Is the 30-minute higher? No, it's the same as the 1 hour support. Good push. I wish this candle closed bullish, next close below. I could trust to push through this support. Otherwise, selling at support, I just kind of, break the rules. This is what I mean. A lot of people are going to get FOMO in these type of market conditions. Guys, this type of candle here is happening every 5 minutes. This candle here is happening every 5 minutes. So you really can't, huh? You have to just focus on what is you're able to control. And if you ain't able to control anything, then don't do anything. Gold looks clean below 15. It does. We just want to see at least one 5-minute pullback. It's kind of important. Weird to think gold has moved 200 pips already. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. I almost clicked the sell button. Yeah, be careful. Because the pullbacks, you need to please calculate. These pullbacks are no joke, huh? Like just this small 1 minute pullback we have so far, small 1 minute pullback, is already 40 points, 50 points. Remember last week when we couldn't even get 20 points? We were begging for 20 points. $50 isn't cheap. $50 is my internet, electricity, water bill. $50 is cheap for the value you get compared to what the current market is out there. There's no way you can find something with this value that is under $100. There's no way, So it is cheap in considering that. You can't compare. It's like saying a Porsche GT3 isn't cheap. A Porsche GT3 isn't cheap. But the guy who bought a Bugatti is saying that it is. Or the guy who can afford the GT3 is saying, actually, for the amount of car you get, it's very well priced. You know what I mean? So it's all about in perspective, right? It's all about perspective. Even GJ dumped here. $60 pip stops on GJ. Big ranges today, boys. Big ranges. If this dumps anymore, it's going to be hard for us to get in. If this closed here, it would have been my trade right here. Below 88, I would have preferred, of course, key level. Maybe you guys did not notice that. I wonder if you guys noticed that. We'll put the line there so you guys can see 88, what I'm talking about. It's a key level. Would have been perfect just below 88. Decrease lot size. You need to calculate lot size. How long do you trade NY session for? 2-3 hours. I set alerts. I mostly concentrate fully on NY session around New York Open and NYSE Open those times. Then I concentrate. Actually thinking about investing gold level 3000 long term. I mean, what is that based on 3000 level? You know, it's not even a weekly support. For me, I think it's a little bit high. I can't give you investing advice, not my job. You can speak to a financial advisor, but personally, I would not invest around 3000. For me, it's still overvalued there. Not overvalued, but you know, just based on TA, technical analysis, there's nothing to suggest that we just stop at 3000, you know? Just right here. Prices close below here. How big is this stop loss? 110 pip stop loss. That's pretty nuts to think about. Damn. Be using like a one lot to risk $1,000. It's like a swing trade, man. It's a swing trade. There's no 5-minute pullback, so that is definitely sketchy. Will we even close below? We closed below the most recent, but we closed at my support that I drew from the previous ranges here. A little bit sketchy. I'd love to see 5-minute pullback, would be very important for me. I think we are due for a 5-minute pullback. Wow, what a candle on DAX, huh? What a candle on DAX. Heavy volume on DAX. Where are we going? Let's see where we're going. Can we look for setup buys because we're bottom of the higher time frame range? We're not bottom of the higher time frame range. Also, you have to realize it's just so much bearish pressure. Will you be entering a trade on DAX 5 minutes before London Open? I hope not. Definitely not on a day like today. Yeah, we need at least a 5-minute pullback here. Same thing. This is my only way to get in today is a 5-minute pullback. If it's just going to capitulate and not give even 5-minute pullbacks, then that's not going to be able to do anything. Answer my question in Discord. Where is it? General chat. This wick fill valid? Very tough. It's a very tough wick fill. But yes, with bullish bias would be valid. You know, it's a little bit sketchy. I would say maybe stray away, but it is a trade option to fill the wick, yes. But you know, your target has been met. So typically, if the wick stopped somewhere here, it would have been better, but your target been met, which was that resistance. You're trying to reach it again. That's why I said you should only try it with bullish bias. Push 1, push 2, not really. This is a kind of a different scenario. I'm talking about potential reversals, but yes, you can get heavier moves during NY because of 2 volume opens, right? You have London, you have NY open and NYSE, so it is possible. But at that case, you'd just be looking for a setup, right? So if you came to the session and we pushed down very heavily, then you'd already be looking, okay, I need structure before taking a trade, right? There'd be no option without structure. I mean, this is nice open here with this top wick. No bottom wick as well. Breaking low can work with this type of volume. Let's see how it forms, because if we create 5 minutes here, we have some structure. Could start to get interesting. Could start to get interesting. Run current candle stops. Because in this type of volume, if I expect it to flip, I expect it to drive, just like it's been doing here. If I see it come back and flip back bullish, you're basically game over there. You're game over. But this is some aggressive trading. Wouldn't we want something closing below? We have wicked through it multiple times now. It would be preferred something closing below. But if you look at it on 30, we have closed below current one. We have closed below previous one as well. So it is a close there. I mean, if we're looking for perfect trades in this condition still, then you should just not trade, because it's really hard to catch a perfect close in this type of volume, you know? It's not gonna be the conditions where we can get away with trying to wait for something perfect, because then you can make the option not to trade as well. Huh? That's definitely valid, but if I take even more consecutive losses, I'm not too worried about that, because it's an opportunity. I'm quite up this year. It's okay. I have a year ahead, so I'm not scared of that. But if I was looking to preserve profit and stuff like that, yeah, I'd probably be going on the backhand here. Backhand approach. Nice though, we have this structure now. It's kind of what we wanted. As with this strong 5-minute candle bullish, would be good actually to get another 5-minute candle closing bearish below here. Give us the confirmation we need. But what's very cool, something I do like, is every time we've reversed here, not every time, but recent times, it's been with no bottom wick, same setup, right? No bottom wick reversal, no bottom wick potential reversal. We will see. So I'll feel confident if we see a candle closing bearish before. On gold 15, isn't there a support line? It's a 1 candle pause. You should consider, but it's a 1 candle pause. You know, it's like a more of a watch zone now, and especially that we've tested it. So when we break it. Also on gold we have a double top. Yes, it can help. Seeing some retracement at the moment. We took out the lowest point of the market for the day, so we made a new low on the day. Are we gonna see a bounce here? This is sometimes after a heavy move we can see this, where we come down, we make a retracement, we take out the low of the day, and then we see a move back up here, maybe before a move back down. That's a potential. I do see that happening from time to time. Just depends if we're just going to be fully bearish today. Makes me scared to sell the lows, if I'm being honest. We have clean range below that previous daily support, so maybe sells below there are going to be a bit more decent. Let us make sure that this is not going to be a fake out. You know, would be nice to see if this did this, and then here, if it's going to be a fake out, it's going to do that. Most likely from a 4-hour support. Makes sense, right? Everyone takes sells, break of this low. But if we get back below here, this previous daily support, we see something like this, that's going to be a lot better. And this is going to avoid us from taking a fake out trade. Oh my god, gold. Yeah, gold is pushing up. You guys need to measure. Guys need to measure. Hopefully you guys didn't FOMO sell the lows trying to see if the wick is going to be formed. This is not a time to be trying random stuff. Especially with the size of these candles. 130 pip candle. I have a question, might seem obvious, but I realize I am making something when I'm doing markup. Let's say on daily, there's a situation, is a resistance that hasn't been crossed on the daily, but it's been crossed twice on the mark. Yeah, you mark it. Yes, you mark it. That is only respective to the time frame you're looking at. GJ continuing its push down here. GJ is not giving any pullbacks. We are seeing DAX and gold pullback though. Gold is still working on a pullback. So is DAX. Pretty heavy one on DAX as well. So for GJ to try capitalize off this move right now, pretty tough. Pretty tough for GJ today. Unless you balls up and you run the big boy stop loss 76. Ugh, that's only 36. Yeah, that's not worth it for just 36. Especially no top wick here. It's probably you wouldn't have entered anyways. Especially for only 36 pips, it's not the best 36 pips. What's my current bias on gold? I do see an opportunity to play a bounce. I am mixed bias on gold, but I do think we will start to see buys start to make sense above 3042. If not, we can continue seeing some of these retracements. You know, we are a higher time frame, very bearish trend here, but you know, it's not out the question to see maybe even a bounce up to 70s. You have to remember how big these ranges. A bounce up to 70 is going to be almost 200 pips from the highs. From where we are right now, a bounce up to 70 is 300 pips. Almost 400 pips. So it's crazy, excuse me, movements. Alright, gonna go toilet, come back, be back in a sec. $15 close bearish. Wow, what a push already, man. Maybe I missed out on that, huh? 120 points. I probably wouldn't have taken it actually. 120 points. 120 points into this daily support and stuff. Not daily, previous daily. Definitely slipped on entry. Original plan was below this previous daily support. So I probably would have stuck with original plan. tap monthly support. Yeah, did previous monthlies there as well. Not too worried about that previous monthly. I'm more worried about this one, but it does count. We can mark it on that just to see what happens. We'll just mark it as a 1 hour. Right next to this 30-minute here as well. Yeah, we tapped the 30-minute as well. Yeah, this is also, I'm trying to think to myself, maybe we were not going to get the perfect trading conditions, right? Where you just have to sell into supports. But then I'm breaking my plan. It's very hard, very hard. 100 point stop loss. 70 points so far. It's not easy. It's not easy. You have to break plans, and this is where you get bit. So these markets can fool you. These markets can fool you. Might get a push during the open. Open could be very crazy today as we see the London markets try to reposition themselves. Because typically there might not be enough volume for people before the London markets to reposition themselves. How's gold doing? Gold trying to come back and retap this support. 15-minute did close bullish here. So trying to take a sell is going to be a little bit silly with a 15-minute strong 15-minute engulfing candle here. That's a great close. That's a good close. 126, man. Fuck's sake. NQ fast approaching that 7% for trading hold. Yeah, if it gets any crazier, they're going to do a trading hold, yes. Gold is trying to make a new low here. 30 minutes about to flip bearish. I don't think the stop is worth it. How much we're looking? 160 pip stops. To here is how much? 160? Oof. 160 is steep. I think a 5-minute close below would be good, and then I can run this stop here, 120 pips. A little bit less, but It matters, you know, it matters. Stop from any randomness. I'm looking to buy gold. Good luck, good luck. Follow your plan. This was a 1 minute trade here. I just missed this. I think we need to use 1 minute strategy in these conditions. But 7 minutes before the open. Yeah, I think this is too fast to call these positions out live. I just have to focus. So maybe it's too fast to call these out live. I just need to focus on these. The good luck sounded like don't come crying when you get fucked. No, it was actually genuine. I was telling him good luck. Yeah, I need to lock in and just try trade these. This is, you can make money in this, but you need to be extremely fast. It's not possible to call these type of positions. Because the moves are decent, you know, you can take these scalps here. But it's too fast to not last minute enter. It needs to be all last minute entries. I recommend you guys watch and warp the 1 minute strat so you can understand what I'm doing. That's going to be a very important video. Very, very important video. Sells below 15-minute support, they do make sense, Peter. Yes, that would be the textbook trade. Not even below that. I feel if we get below this, it will still work. Wonder what we can do in the open here. Open only 3 minutes away from the open. So I feel like we'll have something we can maybe try at the open. We'll see, we'll see. Trying to think, I'm looking here on the lower time frame, see if we're gonna get a setup or something like that. Hopefully a 5-minute pullback is what we really need right now. A 5-minute pullback, which we're getting, which is nice. Is staying in a trade, followed my rules in a trade. I followed my rules pre-London, setup went out early again, need to find something to overcome this. Overcome me and others staying. So what you mean, you just close early? But did you close at target? That's the difference. Did you close at target? Because if you close that target, then it's not bad. Like, you know, your job is not to catch the whole move all the time. That's not your job. Not at target. No, like short-term target. Like, oh, did you just close randomly? If you just close randomly, yes, that's something to work on. And the way you're going to work on that is to separate your terminal. That's why I like to trade. I have it on my phone, so I have to look at the chart first, then make an action on my phone. You know? And when we're coming close to my TP, say my TP was somewhere down here. If my TP was here, only then I can go and touch my terminal. That's a good way to help you. Hi, thanks for your educational videos. I've managed to lose 300,000 in capital for me and my family. Well done, brother. I'm glad you've managed to lose that much. And out of that 300,000, you didn't pay $50 for education? Very surprising. Really weird. Couldn't afford $50. Your FOMO made me lose money. I FOMO'd in orange juice futures. Ah man, right before the open we dumped. That was gonna be our trade. That sucks. Right before the open to have a dump. I was really gonna look. My plan was to get something below the daily support. 1 minute close below the daily support. If you look at these, 1 minute close below continuation, 1 minute close below continuation. So I was actually gonna say if we can get a open candle to do a wick up, and then a 1 minute candle close below here would be great for sells. That's actually what's going to be the plan. Could look for thunderstorm. Nah, look at it. It's done. It's done. It's done. Great move, though. Great move. See, if you can't find a way in, then there's no point. Because I'll put money on this, guys. People will FOMO in here. They will take maybe a sell at these lows here. Or sell on this. Even this. Look at this 1 minute candle here. Take a sell on this 1 minute candle. Where are you going to put stops on this 1 minute candle? High chance you're going to put stops above this. High chance you're going to put stops above this. Look what would have happened though. Be logical. Pop, stopped out. Then you get stopped out and you try look for an entry and boom, dumps. And you're like, oh shit. You see what I'm saying? So these are very hard to catch. This is a massive move here, London Open. 200 points already done. Call it a day. Call it a day. Move is done for that. Gold is trying to make its way back towards the upside. And these are how these conditions are going to be. You have to just be completely neutral. And if you can't handle it, if you have too much FOMO, just don't show up. Take a week off. You know, maybe it will do you good to take a week off. If you have this FOMO inside you, you need to be part of the move. Either you do two things. Learn the hard way, which I really would recommend you guys do, because I am sick of trying to explain myself. So it might be a good thing for you guys to learn the hard way. The second thing is, if you don't want to learn the hard way and you actually feel like you have some potential to learn to control the emotions, then just, it's okay to feel it, but don't take action on it. right? Because these moves are happening all the time. And if you can't find a logical way in, then you're going to probably lose. On FTMO evaluation for over a year and I'm still at break even. If I joined the exclusive, could you give me insight to overcome? Of course, break even is a great stage, brother. And a lot of people who have been at break even, once I find out what is causing them to be break even, I am able to take them out of break even. So it's very simple. Not I take them out of break even, they take themselves out of break even, just trying to understand what's going on. Since DAX is just about cooked, I think it's time for me to wrap up things. Good luck, man. Take care. Yes, sir. Good decision. Work smart, not hard. And that's it. Go spend time with the family, with the kids. No need to force yourself. This is trading. Come back next session. Pushes happen. DAX is all the way at the floor. And that's it. Done. 400-point move. Where are you going to sell? These lows here? Yeah, you could get lucky today. Could just keep on dumping. But realistically, should have been in somewhere else. And the funny thing is this. Check this out. If we take this with massive stop loss, we probably out break even. Because it would have pushed down here. Would have got scared at these big pullbacks. Because selling lows, that candle stops you out break even. So if you honestly look at how it's moving, that's how it is. I mean, look at this 1 minute. Remember, these small 1 minute wicks here are 133 pips. 133 pips. This is full capitulation. We're at macro daily support right now. This is one of the strongest daily supports we have. And we're literally pushing to it like nothing. This is 1, 2, 3 daily support. This is where our macro lows were found. And we just pushed through it like nothing. Butter through it. Butter. You never see this in the market for a long time. You would never see this in the market. Look at stocks. Everything is capitulation mode. How is US 30 spreads? Because US 30 hasn't pushed that much yet. Oh, they're tight. US 30 spreads are tight right now. Let me do a US 30 markup. Not too worried about supports. Price doesn't care about supports right now. How did GJ do at the open? Popped up a little bit. And gold at the open. Trying to come back into that zone. Wow, DAX is absolutely nuts. What an open here. What an open. 2% open is like the amount of money is going into shorts now, guys. You don't understand. To move 2% in that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes is absolutely absurd. Absurd to the amount of money that caused a 2% move. It's trillions. Hundreds of billions right now moving in. I caught a FOMO sell. Well done, man. Just hopefully long term you will probably give that back, unfortunately. I'm just telling you the truth. So make sure you don't do it again. Today, if you get lucky today, that's fine. I'm not here to tell you what you can and cannot do. You guys are all grown-up adults and can make your own decisions. I'm just showing you how I trade through these times, and I trade normally with a safer approach, looking to get paid. Minus 7% daily on DAX. Yeah, it's absolutely absurd. Wise words from Tom Hogarth. What does he say? I'm just hanging back. I don't want to make calls in markets like this. I'm staying on the sidelines. Be careful. Yeah. It's nice to see other people saying the same thing. And I don't want to like be cocky or anything. But it's normally the inexperienced traders who are trying to force things and trying to make a situation out of this. The experienced traders know this very well. I've traded market conditions similar, not the same, but I know the opportunity after this where I can make money every day, not just in one day. Yes, there's opportunity to catch moves here, 100%. And, you know, you could make a lot of money here, but you have to break your plan. And breaking your plan, I'll tell you one thing, guys. Let me put it this way. There's been many times where I've tried to make money in these conditions, but actually ended up losing. And I tell you, that stings for weeks. That stings for weeks. You know? Because I'm sure, like, I'm looking back at this logically, because I can think logically when I see moves like this. They don't bother me. If I took this with the massive stops, after this push here, I'm going break even. Why? Because I'm scared selling the lows. After a 55 pip move, I'm going break even. This candle stops me, I'll break even. So then I'm pissed anyways. Only way I get in today accurately was this one here. But then I'm breaking rules selling into all these supports. Yeah, today price doesn't care about supports. But if it did, that's just stupid. I'm just going to lose very quickly 100 points. You know? Very quickly I'm going to lose 100 points. Man, this pullback is massive, guys. Look at this 5-minute candle here. 300 points. Holy shit, man. The gamblers today are like... I mean, realistically, fun, you know, talking about having fun. If you just pick one of these candles in the right direction with decent lot size, absolutely will pay. Absolutely will pay. 30-minute close bullish. I would love to see this 5-minute hang around here for about 4 minutes or something. So then there's a potential for gold sells. If it doesn't push without. Now you could take it on the 5-minute, but the stop loss I would say has to be at least back inside the range minimum. 100 point stop loss. It makes sense, but I wish we had the 1 hour close or something better, not a 30-minute full bullish close. But depends on your risk tolerance. 5-minute could be an option. If it fakes out back in the range, you just can't be upset at that. It's just like the risk you took in that type of position, right? But if you're looking to give a shot, you really want to take a trade today, then this is an aggressive option. It could work, it could not work. Personally, for me, if it was an option, I would be taking it. But I'm just looking for a little bit more sure options. I don't really want to take a loss in these conditions because it's not really... Let's see the trade. You took an entry here, break of low, got out instead of here. I still think it's a great trade, man. The fact that you make a profitable trade, you can't be upset about. I think, you know, when you get to a stage where you're complaining about not closing properly in profits, it's a great stage, you know. You're not here complaining about how this was a shitty trade, it hit your stop loss, you know, and how it's always hitting your stop loss. You can't seem to win. You're complaining about take profit levels. So it's not always the worst case when that happens, huh? You just need to make sure to that you target levels and just trust yourself a little bit more. It's about confidence of seeing your moves play out more. Once you build that confidence of, hey, I've seen it play out more, you will learn to hold more, It's a confidence thing. And it comes. Everyone goes through it. What actually happens if there's a trading halt? You won't be allowed to trade. You simply won't be allowed to trade. There'll just be too much capitulation, too much bearish market pressure, and they just say, okay, we need to calm this down. This is very unhealthy. What is a trading halt? They just halt trading for the day. They close markets. If you remember in 2020, when oil went below zero, you could not buy, you could not short, you couldn't do anything. How did it go below zero? Yeah, tell me about it. Why did you not take the gold sells? Nothing closed below on 15, nothing closed below on 30. 30, we have a very strong bullish candle close. 1 hour is a rejection wick here. The only way you can take it is on a 5-minute, but I'm not, these are very harsh market conditions at the moment. I don't want to jump into an aggressive trade, lose my ass, and then have to, try recover that again, But I did say that if you wanted to take the 5, you could. Just if it loses, you can't be upset, If it goes negative, they pay you to buy it? No, you're not allowed to buy it. I wish you could buy it. Otherwise, I would have bought it. Make easy money, right? $27 seconds for this 15-minute to close below. We could also see gold dump here, if it can chill. Now stops in this scenario, I think minimum 130 pip stops minimum. 130 pip stops minimum stop loss in this scenario. Let's see. Can get a deeper top wick would be more confidence inducing. $15-minute SL? No, it would be like 5 back in the range. We try push through daily support. If it rejects a daily support, you get out. That type of idea. I feel like only risking what I made on Friday. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. Break of low. I'm only gonna risk what I made on Friday, just so I don't slip my month into a lower percentage. But that's gonna be the plan. Sells below here. Wow, look at that pullback. I'm glad I waited for top wick. Imagine you didn't wait top wick and you see it break the low, you'd be crying now. Look at this pullback. Yeah, it's pretty nuts conditions, guys. It's why patience here is actually paying. I mean, it's a great top wick now, so if this flips, it will be good as well. Harry moves the market, I wish. Current top wick SL, I think you get away with that. Yeah, it should not need to break its own high if it wants to continue. Looks like it's about to flip. I'll be pretty aggressive at this daily support if I see heavy rejection. Where's your SL? I already had it here. I think I can get away with the top wick now. I'm gonna delete the sell stop about 5 seconds before, because I don't want this to open no top wick. I don't want this to open no top wick, trigger me in, then flip suddenly. So I'm just gonna delete it until we open here, and then I'll replace it. Alright, it has no bottom wick, so that's better. So it's a thunderstorm right now. So let's see how it goes. Remember guys, risky trade here. Please do not take it if you're not having a good month or something. For me, I'm just risking what I made Friday. And measure stop loss, huh? Calculate risk, very important. Very, very, very important. Calculate stop. If this 5-minute closes back in the range, it's a different trade. It's a different trade because now we're closing back in the range. So you probably need at least 5-minute close back below. Apparently there is a little nipple wick here. On broker there isn't though. Only 1 minute. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna delete this sell stop now because 1 minute till this closes, I doubt. And if it flips from here, I feel pretty uncomfortable for it to just flip straight away like that. I just don't feel comfortable with it flipping straight away like that. I feel like I'll get cooked. Gave it a shot, but no entry. No entry. DAX here. Can you believe DAX has retraced that whole London move? That's pretty crazy. Whole London move retraced. Was that the daily support on DAX? Yeah, that was the daily support on DAX. I wonder if this is a 5-minute short here. A little bit of a retracement before the high low. We want to see a 1-minute setup 5 though. It feels so risky, this trading. This would be the short here on DAX. I hesitated on this one. Maybe for good reason. I just can't get the confidence in this type of pullback here. 500-point pullback and I short the first 5-minute candle. I just... it's just not something I can do, man. First 5-minute candle I short after a 500-pip pullback. How big is my spreads on DAX? You said spreads are going high. I'm at 0.8 points on DAX. Not bad. Yeah, I don't think it's a smart idea. Better not, bro. Let's avoid. I think, you know, it can work, man. But I'm just not that type of gambler, man. It's an uncomfortable situation for me to take these hyper aggressive shots, you know, especially when I lose these. I feel extremely bad. Like if I'm in this drawdown now, I'm feeling so uncomfortable. I'm normally very comfortable in drawdown because I have control over my setups, but when I'm not in control, I don't like it. And the way I can avoid that is to be in control, and which means not try anything stupid. Does look good though, you know. Maybe 2 5-minute candles will give me a lot more confidence. Obviously, which would also be the 15-minute. We're still left with gold push. Gold is ranging. Gold is ranging for now. It's being very tough to trade gold. We're not having the same volume. Your DAX spread is normal? Mine is normal. Mine is settled. I'm not seeing it spike. Oh, wait, what? I did see something happen. It like spiked to 7 points actually. I'm watching the bid and ask line. It hasn't happened again. No, it seems stable actually. It seems stable. I didn't have the guts for this, huh? You know, one thing I have seen is this setup here. Whenever we have a big reaction point, I don't have enough data on it, so I'm not going to take it. But I've definitely seen before happen. This candle here break the low after we've had a reaction from a very heavy support, break the low and then end up reversing. I have seen that before. What the hell, man? That's crazy. That's your spread? So I want to see that concept. Break the low and reverse. I mean, with so much bearish pressure today. But let's see. Or maybe I should have just been a bit more of a man and say, fuck it, and then just sell this first 5-minute candle. Looks like it played out nicely this time. Yeah, it's always scary at the moment though, 135 pips. Especially when I'm putting, you know, decent money on it and, you know, you're not coming from... If I had a lot of profits to play with this month, I take it. Who gives a shit, right? But this is just stuff that you know, especially when we've hit target as well. First 5-minute candle after a 500-point pullback, man. 500-point pullback is absolutely nuts. But it has worked. Ish. We can't say that till it hits. Be a man or a trader? I like that. I like that. That's a good way to put it. I bet you so many people longed here. It's very addictive to try long in this situation. You're like, ah, big bounce coming. But then you forget to measure and be like, bro, we bounced 500 points. Don't be the smart ass trying to long here yet. Wait for the pullbacks. And if you're going to long counter bias, Wait for support to form, then long counter bias. But just don't long on these green candles. The same way, don't short right now, right? A lot of people I feel will short. You probably get away with the shorts rather than the long, just of how much bearish pressure we have. But damn. 10-point spread. I'm surprised gold is ranging though. This is surprising me. Everything is moving mad, but gold is ranging. I'm a bit surprised at that. I really would have expected gold to also be moving heavy today. This is a nice setup too here. Did that have a top wick on my broker? If it did, I'm gonna cry right now, because that's a valid setup. Okay, it didn't. That's good, that's good. I feel better now, I feel better. This is a nice setup too. Close back outside the weekly support as well. 41 for 39. Yeah, it's enough just to get to there for sure. It's enough. But the big push, it's okay in these, because look at the retest, right? Retest is perfect here. And this is not a, it looks like a big push, Bentley, but with the market conditions we've had, it also didn't reach target down here, which I like. Didn't reach 1 hour support, which I like. So that's nice when it hasn't reached target. This would be nice with top wick. Would be valid. But this will ruin probabilities. This could flip any time here. The thing is, I like gold if it closes below, but I'm scared that it's just ranging. I'm not seeing volume like there is in DAX. How did DAX do? It's not doing too well. It's slowing down slowly but surely. These are fun market conditions to watch. DJ made it stop wick, huh? So finally made it stop wick. 30 minutes is sitting at 30 minute support, 22 minutes for that. DAX could have a nice setup if this 5 can close bullish, next one close below. That's valid. That's valid. We'll also close below the 15 at that point. That would be very nice. Let's mark this 15. It's aggressive, but still, it's the option we have. Yeah, that would look good. shorts back down, retest the bottom of the range. If we could get like a 50-point stop loss, something nice and small would be perfecto. Harry, the market crashed on me, but that's not my last, homie. What do I do? Don't trip by the dip, bro. You know the way. Don't trip by the dip. It ain't over for you, bro. It ain't over for you. DAX 740 spread means yes, 7.4 points, bro. 7.4 points. So that means you're going to enter. And if you get entered and it moves fast like this, you're going to be slipped on top of that. It's quite treacherous, right? Because imagine, you enter, you get slipped, and your slippage ain't going to be smaller. If when we're moving 20 points, you guys are getting slipped 3-4 points. When we're moving 100 points, you're going to get slipped 10-15 points, right? For DAX, I thought we should not trade inside a range. Brother, I think we left the range a long time ago, my friend. Long time ago. Range means this type of stuff. Don't trade in this type of stuff. Ranging, not just support and resistance, you know? It's when it's like really tight, like a pre-session range, right? Like this type of stuff, this type of stuff, this type of stuff. It's tough to trade in that. All right, so we're forming a support on DAX. Good, good, good. Maybe I get something today. Maybe I get gifted something today. Would be great. NAS already down more than 5.2%. So for the future prop firm, if you trade, you'd violate the rules and account breach. Really? Wow, that's really... I'm glad you you noticed that. That's very good. That's a very sneaky rule if you ask me, huh? Isn't that crazy, guys? That sneaky rule. If a indice or something is down a certain percent and you trade, you violate. Wow. You know how much people that's catching off right now? Good on you, man, for making sure to read the rules. Respect. And that's like, I'm telling you, a lot of people losing their accounts. Which firm? Top Step and My Funded Futures. Yeah, Top Step is very popular, guys. Top Step is very popular. 80% wipeout today, for sure. I get it from a business perspective. It definitely is protecting them. Is that a general rule? No, according to him. Why does it violate rules? Doesn't make sense to me. It's not because it's protecting them. Because remember, they're paying you out from company profits, meaning they pay you out from money that they made from selling challenges. You know? So if people are getting, like, imagine you had a prop firm account and you had 3 or 4 prop firm accounts. And you decide to just leave a short today and close your eyes and don't really care, put stop loss at daily drawdown. And you don't care if you blow that account. Today, you would have been paid heavy, like almost life-changing money. You know, if you had a big account. Imagine you had 200Ks and you said, you know, in one 200K, I'm going to put, you know, on DAX today, I'm going to put a 50 lot short with a $6,000-$7,000 stop loss. You know, you're making 25, 30K easy, 40K easy. You know, so there'll be people out there who just take that gamble and it will pay off today. But to protect them from paying you out, they're going to bring that rule saying that if you trade after an asset has been XYZ, you breach the account. Otherwise, they go bankrupt. Wouldn't the firm be profiting? Of course not. They don't pay you out with money that they pay you out with failed challenges. They don't take, you're on demo accounts. When you make money, they don't make money. When you make money, they lose money. Some firms put you on live though, or very late into your journey. Very late into your journey, they put you on live account, you know. But all prop firms in the beginning, all will not put you on live for sure. FTMO takes a share of your profits so they don't lose all the way. That's just to make it seem, if they told you they don't take profits, then people start to ask where do they make money from. That was a concept they used to just, you know, show that, hey, we don't make money from only failing challenges, you know. But then that became popular, right? That became, everyone knows that. So if you scroll down on the FTMO website, let's actually see. They now make it public. Let me show you this. Yeah, look at the wording here. Grow and monetize your demo trading. Simulated profits. Right? You have to look at the wording that they use. Very important. Read here. Please note that all accounts we provide to our clients, all, okay, read, all, not some accounts. All accounts that we provide to our clients are demo accounts with fictitious funds, and any trading is in a simulated environment only. All accounts we provide to our clients are demo, you see? So they ain't paying you out from money they make from you. That's guaranteed. Right? So it's public knowledge that. And they make it very clear on their website. So you just have to take advantage. You're playing a game and you take a advantage. Wouldn't it be smart if they mirror your trades onto a real account? Not really, no. They do that, but it's not their company that does it. It's another company. They have it's like a quant program. So their quant program will do that for profitable traders, but under their license, they cannot do it legally. You know why all prop firms got shut down was because of this whole reason. That's why all the prop firms had this collapse. Maybe big firms like FTMO, Topstep, they'll A-book best trader on their platform, copy trade, but they won't do it on their platform. The trader will still be paid out from simulated profits, but they will copy their trades and make money from someone else. And if you read their fine print of their terms and conditions, they say that they can use your information to develop stuff, use your trading strategy for stuff. And the scary thing is, and this is why retail continue to always have it the hard way, is if they find a profitable system that is demolishing prop firms, that is raking payouts, they will either sell your information to hedge funds to use that information to their advantage, or they will make a rule to avoid people in prop firms being able to continue using that strategy. It started with high frequency trading, it started with all different forms. Because it's not profitable for them. The more people that get paid out, the less money they make. They don't want payouts. So this is why I try to prepare you guys. And this is why I tell you guys that prop firms are a massive opportunity. And the guys who I push to pass a prop firm, you are going against the odds. So the fact that we are here, a lot of people are funded through what we do, We are defying odds. How are we doing that? Through very specific rules, not what the internet teaches you, not the hopes and dreams that are put out there to make it seem like, no, anyone can gamble a couple of prop firms and make money, no problem. That's another method. That's just a matter of money, but you can do the same with a live account. You can spend $100,000 buying prop firm challenges and full pelting them, okay? And get paid out maybe $200,000, right? You can do the same thing, okay? Where you spend a lot of money on challenges to get paid out. And there's some popular traders who do that, who are advertise themselves as top traders. They do that, okay? They pay themselves out by investing a lot of money to begin with. But the same can be done on a live account. At least with a prop firm, there's a threat of denying a payout. And that's where it becomes tricky. So for me, the best way to capitalize off prop firms, is to just trade a consistent approach, which they love. Have a big account, 100K account is like a goal, or 200K account is like the max, you know, that's where the biggest account you can buy. If you look to just gain 2, 4, 8%, even 5%, that's decent money. You do that with 2 prop firm challenges, it's decent money. You diversify into your own personal funds, you're making very significant income from clicking buttons on a screen and not being a degenerate gambler and following a steady plan. Last month, multiple people in the group, were able to generate 7%, 6%. We even had people who were only able to join the trade that month very little, still able to generate 4-5%. If you generate 4% on a 200K, that's 6K. Okay? More actually, 8K, sorry. You're telling me that 8K is not enough for 4% in a month? You know, let's be honest. What if you diversify with a personal account? You know, and then if you need more money, you build more money. It's a journey. You don't start a business and the business starts generating, $1 million. It's not how it works. You need to scale as a trader as much as you need to scale a business. It works the same. You see what I'm saying? So don't be blindsided thinking you need those 20K, 30K payouts. You know, you don't need those 20K, 30K payouts. It's not necessary. Because if you can be paid 5K a month, that's 50K end of year. 5K on a 100K account is only 5%. You know? So, really guys, it's a simple formula. Anyways, guys, I tried to take some gold sells here, but it never triggered me. DAX, I feel there was some opportunities for shorts down, but I just had to have a little bit bigger bulls. Now, the very interesting thing is, and this is what's a little bit scary, is if I took these shorts with spread, guys, stop loss here was 130 points. The market saw 126. Why would I close at 126, 127? Keep in mind spread as well. I probably would have not closed there. I would have said, oh, it's so close to my take profit, I'm not going to close. Especially without there being 1 minute support there or anything to tell me to close. So this would have been a disaster. This, I just didn't have enough balls to take this one into this supports. But with this type of market capitulation, we are not really caring about supports, right? We really don't care about supports. So yeah. Counter trend buys on DAX, they can make sense for bounces. I would say if this 5 can close bearish next above, you could get a volume push. I'm not in a rush. Unfortunately, gold ranged here, guys. Unfortunately, gold ranged. If gold didn't range, we would have had a nice trade today. But we have New York session. I think Monday, it's good we let the market settle down a little bit. And then we have the whole week ahead of us. There will be times we can get in, guys. Don't worry. Just because the markets are moving like this doesn't mean. It's just going to be about waiting for our time, you know, and swinging on the right ball, right? That's what's going to matter. You understand? So once we get our shot, it's going to be extremely juicy because look at the size of the moves we get. We get amazing sized moves. So yeah, appreciate you all. Take care. Have an amazing day. We didn't lose anything. We have New York session ahead of us. Maybe we can catch some 1 minute scalps during NY and then take it from there. So I appreciate you all for showing up. Take care, trade sharp, and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon. All right. Peace. Much love. Peace.